Hi, and welcome to Module 2 of the Dynamic You Group Coaching Program. Welcome. Great job making it this far. And I do want to acknowledge you for the great work that you've done. And so if you have listened to Module 1, great job. If you then went on the Facebook page and shared some of the things I asked you to share, great work. And then if you commented on other people's posts, fantastic. That connection part of this program is super important. And then the last piece is, did you go on the call, the live call that we had? And did you share on that live call? Awesome. And even if you didn't, did you watch the recording? Okay, so if you did all these things, I want to acknowledge you for participating, for taking this seriously, and for getting the most out of the program. And what this is going to do is the more you engage, the more I can give you personally. The more you share, the more specific feedback and coaching that you will get from me. Okay, and the more that you share and connect with other people, the more of a community you're building, the more in connection that you're going to feel, the more you're going to understand that other people are similar to you, and you're going to get more inspiration from other people. So if that's the kind of experience that you want to have, if you want to step fully into your dynamic you, participate, show up, be part of it. Deal? Okay, so if you're doing all those things, awesome. If you're already feeling like, I'm doing everything, step it up a notch. What would that look like? What's that extra little step? Think about that. Okay, now in last module, we talked about how dynamic women prioritize themselves. What's the importance about that? Many things. First of all, when you prioritize yourself, then other people catch on, and they're going to start to prioritize you as well. When you prioritize yourself by giving yourself me time, which was our challenge, you build up your self-worth and your feeling that you deserve this. It's also going to start to change how you maybe say yes or no to things. And so continue to be sharing how that challenge is going. You don't just stop it because it's in module 1. You're going to continue it for the whole 6 weeks and beyond, I hope. Every module is going to build on the last module. So make sure that you continue to do each pillar, keep using each pillar, and letting me know how it's going. At this point, you've had about a week in the pillar number 1 being prioritized. And so I encourage you, go onto the Facebook thread that I've started that's asking you to share your success stories. There's very specific questions that I outlined, and I would love, love, love to hear how it went. So where you started, kind of how the process was for you, what you learned, what you thought, how you felt, what maybe obstacles you faced. And then in the end, where you're at with some success stories or your experience. And as you go through the weeks, you feel free to go back, edit that Facebook post, add more in, add more depth, and know that for my book, this is where I'm pulling success stories from. No, I'm not just going to grab them without your permission. I'm going to look at them all, and I'm going to choose some for each of the pillars that I feel, can give the readers hope or inspiration or set a new kind of challenge for them. And so I'm going to ask you, do I have permission to share this? And then we will talk about it, and you can, edit it, and we'll be in a good place. Okay? Sound good? And I'm going to do that for all the pillars, all 9 of them. Okay? So comment on all of them. And I'll just choose a few from each one, and I would love to be able to showcase you and what you have been through, gone through, the success, the obstacles, whatever it is. Okay, sound good? Okay. It's time for pillar number 2. Yay. Now what's pillar number 2? Dynamic women are real. So the pillar is be real. So often I know, and I've heard, and I've seen women acting like other people. They're not real about what they want. They're not real about what they need. They're not real about who they are. And that really annoys me. And so what I'd love for you to do is to think right now, why do you act this way? And I'm going to say everybody at some point has, is, or will not act like the real them. Okay, so I'm going to give you 5 reasons why women in particular will do this. The first one is to fit in. So maybe they're in a new group of people, a new networking group, or a very specific group. And so in order to be part of that group, they feel like they just, need to act like everyone else in order to fit in. First reason. Second reason is to connect. So by saying certain things, talking about certain things, acting a certain way, you're going to maybe feel like you're connecting with them. There is some fault in that, and I'll explain that after. Next is maybe to protect yourself. Maybe if you do share a little bit too much, maybe you feel like it's going to affect your credibility or your business or some other way that it is going to impact your life. So it's to protect yourself and what you have. Next is maybe you're scared about what others will think. So if you say your opinion or you say something about your habits, that the other people are going to be like, oh my gosh, I'm judging her totally, and maybe push you out. And the last reason is it's just easier, people think, to follow along than to create your own waves. Are any of these true for you? I've been in experiences when I definitely felt like I needed to be somebody else. And so I want to ask you right now, when have you not been the real you? Was it a particular business meeting? Was it with specific people? Was it when you attended something? When haven't you been the real you? And that's your first share on Facebook. Okay, when have you not been the real you? I'm going to go into some reasons why those 5 reasons why you would act not real are actually hurting you. Okay, first reason is when you're not real, it actually stops you from getting out there. Because maybe here you're this one way, and then you go over here and you have to be a different way to fit in. Well, if the same people, some of the same people are in both locations, there's confusion as to like, well, how do I show up here and how do I show up here? So maybe you just stop showing up at one of them. Okay, so it stops you from getting out there. Maybe you also think like, oh my gosh, I'm going to have to take on another persona. Not cool. So that's one reason why it's not good to not be real. The next is when you're not real, it's tiring. That whole idea around, you say one lie and then you need another one to cover that story. You start to forget what you said. Well, it's the same kind of thing, is that you're showing up and you're like, okay, I have to be this way and I have to think about it. And oh my gosh. And what did I say last time? And how do I need to be? And it's tiring. Being not you is tiring. And if you haven't felt that, I'll let you know. Because, I've been in situations where I felt like I need to act a certain way. And it just, I'm not in flow. And it doesn't feel good. And so the next one comes off of it being tiring. There's pressure. There's pressure to kind of perform, to be at a certain place. And then that leads us into the next thing. Pressure brings stress. Pressure brings dis-ease or disease, right? It brings on illnesses. It can raise your cortisol levels. It can give you all the negatives from stress, adrenal fatigue, tons of stuff. Not good, not good. Plus, at the core, you're not going to feel in line. You're not going to feel sincere, authentic. You'll feel instead artificial. And the truth is, you can only sustain this for a very short amount of time. It's short-lived. But if you're the real you, you can be this way for forever, right? For as long as you're around. And so here's a hard question, maybe. Maybe it is, maybe it isn't. But it's a good coaching question for you. And so where are you putting on a fake front? Where are you putting on a fake front? Where are you not real? So share this on the Facebook page. So this is question number 2. Where are you not real? And hey, there's no judgment here. This is used as a tool, a technique for yourself. And maybe you just don't have another tool or technique that you can use instead. And that's what I'm going to be giving you. Okay. So you've got 2 questions so far. Let me keep going. Now, what I really want you to be thinking about is the reason why we're not being real is because we're trying to fit in. We're trying to belong. But the truth is, when you're busy trying to fit in, you're not standing out. When you're busy trying to fit in, you're not standing out. And dynamic women stand out. They do. If you think of any woman who has inspired you, any woman that you wish you could be friends with, that you want to do business with, that you're just watching in the community being a leader and doing really great things, being successful, being happy in their life, they're standing out. They're unique in one way or another, right? And if you want more clients and more money and more freedom and more friends and a man and all these other things, you need to stand out. Now, I'm not saying you need to be like out there all crazy and outgoing and everything. That's maybe not your personality, and I don't want you to change in that way. But instead, what I'm saying is you're stepping into the authentic you, the real you, the unique you, right? I said in dynamic you, I'm not changing you as a person, but I want you to show up as the unique you. So here's another question for you. Third question for Facebook. What makes you unique? What makes you stand out? What is it? And don't just say it's like I'm tall or I have, I've got red in the back of my hair. This isn't it. So maybe for me, I stand out because of my humor. I stand out because I talk with my arms. I stand out because I'm loving. I stand out because I hug people. I stand out because I get excited about things, because I'm a leader, because I'm outspoken. Like, what is it about you that makes you stand out? If you're having trouble getting started, go back to the question of what makes you dynamic, and then ask other people. Be like, hey, friend, hey, hubby, hey, whoever, be honest with me. What makes me unique? What makes me stand out and different from everybody else? Okay, I'm excited to see these answers. Now, in order for us to really tap into how it feels to be real, I want you to think about when you're with friends, family, partner, other people that you're completely comfortable around, when you get to feel like yourself. Think of these moments. Do you have some time? Do you have some moment or some people that you're around? Now, what does that feel like? What does it feel like to be truly yourself? Now, maybe it means that you don't have to be smiling all the time. And maybe it means that if you're not happy, you can say it. And maybe it means you're not the hostess with the mostest at every single second of every day, that you actually get to sit there and let others care for you. I know that just recently, I'm so comfortable around my husband that sometimes I've realized now I don't even say everything I think because there's really no filter. I'll just say things. But then he tells me, honey, you didn't tell me that. And so I'm so comfortable, I almost feel like I've told him everything, and I don't even say everything because I feel like he already knows it. And so that's for me my ultimate level of comfort. Other things are like when I get around my girlfriends, I can be silly and funny and sarcastic and joking and sometimes a little bit crude in how I am. Now on the video here, I'm real. This is me. I'm a little bit more animated than if we were sitting and having a coffee. And sometimes I'm a little bit more entertaining in how I speak and change my voice. But that's because I'm fulfilling a job here to deliver content to you that you're actually going to listen to. And so I am being the real me, and I feel like I can do that. And that's why I don't mind if I have to scratch or if I stumble over my words. That's how it is. I'm not a perfectionist anymore, right? Keyword anymore. I'm recovering. So anyway, in these moments, what does it feel like for you? And why is it better to be real than not real? So I already talked about how it felt and all the negatives, but how does it feel when you're actually being real? So I'll give you a few ideas. One, you get to be yourself. Oh my gosh. How easy is it to be yourself? It should be really easy. You're in flow that way. It's automatic. You don't have to think about it. You have to be like, oh my gosh, what do I think about this? It's like, that's how you think. You don't have to think, how should I think? You just think about it, or you just feel about it. Next, you don't have to overthink, like, if I say this, then they're going to think that. And no, you just say it because it's like, this is how I am. And I'm not adjusting how I am for anybody else. And the last one, if you're not in your head thinking about all this stuff, you're actually present. How amazing is that? And then the funny thing is, I said that you feel like you can connect with people when you're not real and you're like saying what you want, what you think they want you to say, but actually it's only a surface level connection, because they may feel super connected to you, but you're not going to feel super connected to them. Okay, so there's 5 reasons why it feels great to be real. And I want you to really tap into those moments and those people that you're around where you can be truly yourself. Now, there are some times, and I want to this is the little legality almost thing at the bottom, the little subscript on the bottom. Anyway, yes, there are times when you need to put your best foot forward. And yes, there are times when you need to suck it up and fulfill a role or a job. And so you don't get to feel exactly how you want to feel or how you're being in that moment. For example, I lead Dynamic Women in Action events, as you guys know. And when I'm leading these, the odd time I've had a headache or I've had something in my life that's happened. Do you think I'm going to sit there and go, oh gosh, guys, I can't really do this very well because I have a headache? No, I'm going to be like, hey, here we are, and this is what we're doing. But I'm acting like myself. I'm just acting like myself when I'm 100%. And so, yes, you could say I'm kind of faking it, but I'm still the real me. I am just in that moment, not letting my emotions take over kind of the objectives and intentions I have for that moment. Right? And so that's why I also was doing an activity at an event. I was given a 20-minute block of time to run these activities. By the end, I was given 5 minutes. Do you think I could have showed up pissed off, unorganized? No, I needed to just roll with it. And because I did, and I just didn't show that any of that was an issue, it was actually a really good experience, not just for me, but for everybody there. And the cool thing is that I was so real in that moment, people were running up to me afterwards. Oh my gosh, Dinah, I have to just speak to you. I have to introduce myself. I had to know more about you. And so that's that moment where it's like, oh, wow, I was so real in that moment that people connected with me. Okay, so if you're thinking, well, no, Diane, when I go to these things, I can't tell them about all my troubles. Well, yeah, but you can still be you. You just have a filter, okay? So yes, sometimes you have to put on a happy face, and sometimes you have to be professional, and sometimes you can't be the full version of you. I don't crack crude jokes in professional business meetings, right? You get it. You get the point. I have to keep going on that. Okay. So now let's get to your challenge time. And I'm forewarning you, you have not 1, but 2 challenges, because it's not 1, but 2 pillars. Makes sense, right? Okay. The challenge is for you to be the real you. No surprise. But I have some questions to help you be the real you. Okay. First question is, where do you need to be honest about who you are? Which areas of your life? Which groups of friends? Where do you need to be honest about who you are? Are you acting a different way on a sports team, in a volunteer role, with certain people? Okay, next. I know that we can all play roles in different situations and with different people. So maybe here you're a leader, and here you're a follower, and here you're serious, and here you're funny. And so I want to ask you, what roles are you playing? So look to those different areas of your life. Look to the different situations and all the roles that you're playing and write them down. Okay, so what are all the roles that you're playing? Now I want you to choose, what's your real role? Like on earth, as your purpose. What's your real role? And I'm not saying that then you have to like blanket, like all the time I'm organized, all the time I'm serious, but like, what is that ideal role that you will not play, but be? And so as a coach, I need to be curious all the time. I need to be kind of in that coach mind all the time. I don't just like, I'm a coach, I'm not a coach. And actually, I'll share with you, I was at a conference recently in Toronto, and I got up to the mic, and because I'm a public speaker. The woman on stage knows I'm a public speaker. because we're colleagues. And I get up to ask a question, and I just was standing back a little bit, and I was like, and she was like, whoa, Diane, you're a speaker. Like, take that mic, take ownership. And I was like, right, yes. Like, what am I doing right now? I'm being sloppy. And so I had to own it in that moment. And I appreciate her calling me out. And that's what I'm going to do to you if I feel that you're playing in the wrong role. But anyway, so what roles are you playing, and what's the real role or ideal role that you are going to show up as? Okay. And then this next week and moving forward, I want you to be showing up as who you know yourself to be in these situations and with these people. And trust me, you're going to rewrite the outcomes. Okay. You're going to rewrite the outcomes. Why? Because you're sharing the real you. You're going to speak up to what you want rather than what other people want. You're going to maybe be vulnerable, and that might be scary, but trust me, remember, we're blowing outside of these boundaries, because that's the only way you're going to step into your dynamic you. You're going to choose to show up as who you know yourself to be, right? And what that's meaning is it's the true you, the authentic you, the real you. And it's going to bring out what makes you different, what's unique about you. People will remember that. People will connect with that. People will think that's so refreshing. And sometimes you might have to speak your truth. Okay. So pillar number 2, be real. And that's your challenge. Show up as the real you. Okay. So make sure that you are spending some time documenting this on the Facebook page as to how it goes, because I want to know. And so does everybody else. And we want to be inspired by what you say. Okay. In a moment, I'm going to share pillar number 3. Okay. Pillar number 3. Are you guys ready for it? Pillar number 1, be prioritized. Pillar number 2, dynamic women are real. Pillar number 3 is connected. Dynamic women are connected. Yeah, we are. And yes, women know a lot of people. Yes, we do. We like to chat with so many people, but are we truly connected to them? We know them, but are we connected? And so how are dynamic women connected? Let's go through that. When they show up as who they are, the real them, and then they meet others, they connect with more people on a deeper level. Okay? And they're not just connecting on this deeper level because they're showing up as who they are. The other person shows up as who they are, not their titles or what they do. Because wouldn't it be more powerful if a woman who is unique because she is a great listener and caring and organized, wouldn't it be great if that person met somebody who is, a leader and funny and outgoing? Wouldn't it be cool if those two people met rather than the real estate agent met the, Arbonne consultant? Would it be better than that? Yes. And it's not that the titles are bad. They tell us who these people are, but they only tell us people who they are on a surface level. So if we want to connect on this deeper level, we need to connect as real people from pillar 2. That's why it came first. So how do we connect on a deeper level? Let's go through that. You focus on the other person, not their title, not their role, not their level, not their label, not how far they're in their business, if they're a mom, if they have kids, how many kids, dog owner. No, strip all that away. Okay? So I've got a few points here around how to connect. So imagine yourself showing up at an event, showing up at a house party, showing up at the gym, wherever you're going and meeting people. You find connection with them based on a bunch of different factors. Okay? Here they are. Emotion, connect with them based on emotion. So how they're feeling, positive or excitable, whatever it is. Connect with them as people. Okay, and it might be something just you see as a person in them. Connect with their experiences. So, there's someone who's also traveled from another country to live in this country. Okay, connect with them based on likes. We both like spicy food or to cook. Connect with them based on interests. They love CrossFit and I do too. Connect based on struggles. We both have had children who XYZ, or we both have had companies close down and had to switch and go to a new one. Connect based on opportunities. Oh, wow, they're a speaker, and they've had, this chance to go and do this, and I want to do that, so I'm going to go talk to them about it. And connect based on desires. We both have the same desire to give back to people in third world countries. Okay, connect. Do you already feel like how much deeper and intimate it is to be doing these things? Way better, way better. Okay, so you're going to find a connection based on one or more of these factors. Then, by connecting on this level, you're going to have a deeper connection. So don't just stop there with like, oh, look, I just found out this connection here. Bring it deeper. Get curious by asking questions like, what's important about that for you? And tell me more. And when was that, I don't know, an interest or a desire or whatever of yours? Okay. The cool thing about this type of connection, this deeper connection, is that it can cross all demographics. And so often we're judging ourselves based on, oh, we're not as successful as them. We're not as young as them. We're not as fit as them. We're not as good of a mom as them. Whatever the stupid story is that you're telling yourself, when you're looking at titles and roles, you're always going to lose because you get into comparitis. That's a disease, and maybe you got it, okay? And I want to cure you of that by having you look at who you are as real people with real emotions, real feelings, real struggles, okay? So anyway, it crosses all demographics, so you don't have to worry about that. You can connect with anybody, male, female, young, old, successful, or not, doesn't matter. And then when you're in that place of, that's just a person, this helps you to be bolder, more confident, more of the real you, helping pillar number 2, because you realize, oh my gosh, you're just a person. And so I just watched a video today, actually, of a woman in Dynamic Women in Action who met one of her idols, probably the idol, the woman who's taught her how to do the work that she does in the world. She met her. Oh my gosh, amazing moment. It's one of those I met Oprah moments. And no, I didn't. On my list. If you know her, tell her I want to connect, have coffee. And so when she met her, she said, in the video, she said, oh my gosh, and I met her and she was just a real person. Well, duh, yeah, they are real people. And luckily this person was really nice and a really good person. Sometimes, they say don't meet your idol because you'll be disappointed, or don't meet your hero, whatever that expression is. But she was pleasantly surprised. And yes, she's just a person. And what's that other expression? Everybody puts their pants on one leg at a time. Yeah. Everyone's had struggles. Everyone is succumbed to death around them and disease, and everybody deals with their own crap, basically. And so when you can realize I'm a real person, they're just a real person, and we're connecting on this deeper level, you get to just lose all of that other crap that gets in the way of a real connection. Okay. Now, dynamic women don't just have connections, they have the right connections. Key here, okay? This is very, very important. Have you heard the Jim Rohn quote? I love this one. I've taught this one in Dynamic Women. I work with it with my clients. You are the average of the 5 people that you spend the most time with. So my question is to you, who are the 5 people that you spend the most time with? And maybe just family becomes one lot, or don't even include family, but starting write down those 5 people. I know a couple of key people I call them my board. I know a couple of people in there that are just, so supportive and cheerleaders of mine, pushing me to the next level. Those are the kind of people that you want. If you want to add me in your 5, awesome. I'd love that. That'd be so cool. But anyway, who are the people currently in your top 5? And it doesn't have to be people that you're actually hanging out with. It could be people that you're reading or learning from. Maybe you're doing listening to podcasts. But anyway, know those 5 people. So let's get back to dynamic women have the right connections. Okay. I have a bunch of key things that I want you to make sure you're writing down here. So you got your journals. You should be writing down everything, but key things here. Okay. what I want for you is for you to seek out more of the right people to connect with. So yeah, connect as real people on that level, and then go, is this the right person for me? And then if it is, keep connecting more. Okay. And when you attend events, kind of look around, or even better, know who's attending before you go, so that you know that you can seek out those right people that you want to have connections with. Okay. So first tip here, seek out more of the right people to connect with. Second, let go of the people that aren't a great fit. So in your 5, do you have somebody crappy, somebody that's just negative Nancy, pulling you down? Get rid of them, replace them. There's, yes, a lot around getting rid of them in a nice way, in a good way that is really supportive of them and you. But let go of the people that aren't a good fit. And if you're networking and you meet somebody that's not really a good fit, don't ask for their business card. You do not need, there's no obligation for you to follow up with them. And it was nice to meet you. Well, that's not being real if you didn't care for them. Don't waste your time. Focus on the people that you really want to connect with. Okay, I give you permission. Next, people are meant to come into our lives to either learn from us or to teach us something. Recently, I had somebody that wasn't very nice in an email to me. I was like, you know what? Bless you for sharing. Thank you so much for sharing. Apparently, she felt she needed to teach me something. And I listened to it. I took it for what it was. I blessed her and wished her all the best. Not somebody I will continue to be connecting with. But, you know, this is how it goes sometimes. We learn from people, and sometimes people are to learn from us. Next, people often have a 7-year cycle in your life. They come in, there's some learning, some growing, some sharing, and then they move on. And so maybe you have some people in your life right now, and you're like, wow, whatever happened to that person? We're not as close as we used to be. It could just be the 7-year cycle. And the good thing is, as you know, maybe you lose somebody that was really close to you and really had an important part in your life, you're going to find someone else. So those 5 continuously get replaced and replenished. If you're lucky, you've got some that kind of stay on. Their goals and intentions with you maybe change. The relationship changes. Okay. Now, question time. So I just gave you a bunch. Seek out people that you really want to connect with. Let go of the people that aren't a fit. Know that people come into our lives to learn from us or to teach us something. And there's a 7-year cycle on friends. And so I need to ask you the tough question now. Okay. Who do you need to let go of? Who do you need to let go of in your life? In any area of your life, who do you need to let go of? And I want you to share on Facebook. You don't have to share who they are. But if you share, why do you need to let go of them? Are they negative? Are they competing with you in a negative way? Are they holding themselves back? Do they have terrible money stories? Like, what is it about them? And why? So just share your why if you want. And the second part of the question is, who do you want to bring in? Who are you seeking? What type of person are you needing? And why? Okay? Share that on Facebook. Those ones are awesome. And let's get into your challenge. Are you ready for pillar number 3's challenge? It's going to be awesome. Okay. So pillar number 2, first of all, you're connecting and you're being real with people. And so this is such a complementary pillar because it's around having a stronger connection. So when you meet others, see them for who they are, not what they do with their titles or their roles. Okay? So you're going to ditch those titles. You're going to take them out of that box. You're going to look for the connection. So that's your challenge. With everybody you meet, find that connection. Okay? And maybe you find there's a lack of connection. But anyway, you're in the process of finding connection. That's your challenge. And to take it up a notch, because I like to do that, my question for you is, how fast can you find out 3 things about this person that are the same as you or that are in connection? So it's like a game. Okay. And then even if you're meeting someone networking, grab their business card and write those things down, because now you have something better to talk about than just let's talk about each other's businesses. Okay. Get creative, be unique, talk about something else. And then let the professional part of it blossom. So your challenge when you meet people, you're going to focus on your connection that you have with them. Don't force a connection. If there's not one, move on. Okay. Take them out of the box. Be real with them in that connection, and take it up a notch by asking yourself, how fast can you find 3 things that you have in connection with them? Okay. So we are going to get on a call, and what I want you to do is start sharing on the call some of the successes or your experiences by doing these 2 challenges from these 2 pillars, pillar of being real and the pillar of having connection. Okay. Being a dynamic woman means so many things, but these 3 pillars right now are building this foundation for you to show up as who you need to show up as. Okay, so I'm looking forward to hearing all your stories. Please share your obstacles, share your struggles, share your challenges, or ask your questions. Put your successes on the page from pillar 1, pillar 2, or pillar 3. And as we keep adding all the way up to 9, you at any point, you can be talking about any of the pillars, okay? Please just refer to them, okay? So this is in relation to pillar number 2 about being real or whatever, so that people get some context and so that you're getting practice talking about the different ones. Deal? Good, because my goal for you is to get the most out of this program and to really step fully into the dynamic you that you're meant to step into. Okay, deal? Good. So I'm signing off. I'll see you guys all on Tuesday on our call. Chat later. Bye.